Good morning and welcome to Fox 29 News Now. As you may have seen when you woke up this morning, snow and rain fell across the Philadelphia area overnight, dropping several inches of snow in some parts of the region. Dozens of various schools opened 2 hours late today, while others have closed for the day. Areas to the north and west saw the most snow, with Percy, Pennsylvania reporting 7 inches of snow, and East Stroudsburg also saw about 6.5 inches. To the east, Princeton, New Jersey saw nearly 3.5 inches, while Philadelphia saw only about an inch. As the storm moves offshore to the northeast, the Fox 29 Weather Authority is tracking some bitter cold temperatures that will be moving in tonight. Give you a look at temperatures across the region. You can see in the Midwest, temperatures hovering around 0 or single digits. Fortunately, this week, those bitter cold temperatures are here to stay. We won't see temperatures above 40 again until probably Saturday, with another chance of precipitation coming Friday, with a wintry mix possible at night. So, as we woke up to snow this morning, our Fox 29 crew spread across the area to see how residents were dealing with the snow. Our Sabina Korea Coast was in Allentown.
In Lehigh County, schools closed in Allentown and Whitehall Township. 6 inches of snow creating a mess on local roads. But as you can see in this time-lapse video, major thoroughfares between Philadelphia and Allentown were cleared and salted by early this morning. A busy day for workers who were out shoveling walkways and salting the ground around businesses and homes to prevent ice and slippery conditions. Plowed trucks navigating the roadways, sometimes dealing with downed trees along with the snow.
A few trees fell down. I was in the middle of plowing the property and the tree fell down on East 7th Street.
Every year, we do it every year. I mean, it's not that, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it depends on the weather. You know what I'm saying? If it's freezing weather, then it's a little difficult, but if it's not freezing, we're okay.
It's good for you, though, because you're making, this is your bread and butter here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So it's good. It's good. Good for the pockets. Got to pay the bills somehow.
Snow's a little wet, but it was all right.
That's what we're saying. It's heavy, so, this is like some back-busting labor you got going on.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Usually that soft, fluffy snow works better with the blower. Right now, just giving my blower a hard time because it's so heavy and wet.
The heavy snow sitting on trees and power lines, leading to some power outages. So heavy, in fact, that some drivers apparently didn't put in the elbow grease to clear off the roofs of their cars. A bad idea, and also, by the way, illegal in Pennsylvania. In Allentown, Lehigh County, Sabina Korea Coast, Fox 29 News.
Thank you, Sabina. Before we move on to Bucks County, we'll take a look at the time-lapse of the snow as it moved into Allentown late yesterday afternoon and into the evening. Now we'll give you a quick look at Philadelphia last night as the snow moved in. As I said before, Philadelphia got about an inch of snow last night before things turned to rain. Quakertown was another area that saw some significant snow overnight before that switch over to rain, like we mentioned. Here's Lauren Johnson from Quakertown.
Hey, good morning to you guys. So the conditions here much better than earlier this morning when we first made our way to Quakertown here in Bucks County. Blanketed by snow, though, very beautiful to look at, picturesque, sort of like something you might see in a postcard. But, you know, it's just beautiful to see people really thinking it's much of a headache this morning, especially on a Monday, to get the week started this way, having to dig out from snow that fell overnight. The National Weather Service reporting about 5 or 6 inches here in this area. I know when we drove up from Philadelphia earlier this morning, we didn't really think it was going to be much, and then the snow started falling harder and much more intense in this area. So we talked to some people earlier who think that they've had it. You know, winter should be over by now. The groundhog telling us that it would be, but we're not seeing that just yet. And Sue Serio's telling us there's going to be much colder temperatures coming for us this week. So I guess the good news is that the snow is over. The bad news is that much colder temperatures are coming, so it's not going to be a fun week for us. Back to you guys.
Authorities in Bucks County are investigating whether or not winter weather may have been a factor in a deadly crash that occurred in Quakertown last night. 2 teenagers were killed and a third was injured when they were involved in a single car crash around 5:30 p.m. Sunday. That crash occurred on Route 663. State police say the 2 passengers inside the car were killed and the 17-year-old driver was hospitalized. The passengers have been identified as Michelle Goodwin of Pennsburg and Daniel Pearson of Red Hill. Pennsylvania State Police closed the highway for several hours. The official cause of the investigation, or official cause of the accident, is still under investigation. President Trump is about to face an avalanche of investigations. Democrats are exercising their new power in Congress, and as Fox News correspondent Doug Luzader reports this morning from Capitol Hill, the president is none too happy about it.
Well, we knew this was coming when Democrats won control of the House. They now have the power to conduct investigations, and they are using it. Now, President Trump embracing the flag this weekend, but Democrats in Congress aren't exactly looking for a hug. Not many are talking about an impeachment anytime soon, but some newly empowered Democrats are clearly laying the groundwork.
Impeachment is a long way down the road. We don't have the facts yet, but we're going to initiate proper investigations.
Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler heads the committee that would oversee an impeachment if it happens. And he says after last week's testimony from former Trump attorney Michael Cohen, there is evidence that the president violated campaign finance laws, and it won't stop there. He wants documents today from some 60 administration officials and Trump family members.
We are going to initiate investigations into abuses of power, into corruption, and into obstruction of justice.
This is basically an abuse of power.
Republicans are accusing Democrats of overreach, but there is little they can do to stop it. And President Trump decried on Twitter what he called presidential harassment by crazed Democrats at the highest level in the history of our country. And at a conservative gathering over the weekend, he did not hold back.
There's no collusion. So now they go and morph into, let's inspect every deal he's ever done. We're going to go into his finances. We're going to check his deals. We're going to check. These people are sick. They're sick.
And Democrats now say that their investigations will go far beyond any allegations of collusion with Russia. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Amazon is reportedly set to launch a chain of grocery stores later this year. We're hearing Philadelphia could be one of those cities, but it isn't clear if it will have the same cashierless technology as and shelf scanning robots as Amazon Go. Here's Tracy Carrasco with more.
Amazon is taking over the world. They're getting into everything now, and they're going to have their own grocery stores.
Can you believe it? So, Tracy, we're hearing that Philadelphia could be one of these stores, but it's not like the cashierless one, right? This is a different kind of store.
No, we're talking about a full-on grocery store. Amazon reportedly, according to the Wall Street Journal, looking to launch a chain of grocery stores across the country. The yet-to-be-named grocery store would be very different from Whole Foods, which it also owns. Whole Foods, we know, is very pricey. They're really focused on the organic goods, the specialty items. So this would be a different kind of store. They would be a little less expensive. They would have a wider range of products and things that they're selling there. So, yes, Philadelphia is one of the cities that Amazon reportedly looking at shopping center space in addition to Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington, D.C., although the first store that they're looking to open will be in Los Angeles.
Now, Trace, we have some footage from Amazon Go. So what's Amazon Go? Is that where you walk in and you don't have to...
That's the cashierless store.
Oh, cashierless.
Yeah.
So this one,
you walk in, you use the app, and then you just kind of pick up everything you want. You scan it when you leave, and they charge you for what you've purchased. Yes.
But this
or you
one,
feel like you're stealing everything.
Yeah. This one, none of that. It'll be waiting in line, going to the cashier, having them scan it, that kind of thing. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
maybe they'll implement some of the Amazon Go things. I don't know, but for right now, we're hearing it's just like a regular grocery store.
Now, I wonder if it's going to be like closer to Costco, like we'll be able to buy things in bulk, or is it just going to be regular, like a Giant or something, or an Acme?
I think it's going to be closer to just a regular grocery store because you go to Whole Foods, you can't get Cheerios. You have to get the specialty, whole paycheck. You have to get the specialty organic, gluten-free Cheerios. And so maybe it'll be closer to that.
Or like
That's
Wegmans.
my guess.
Oh, it'd be great if it was like a Wegmans because that way you get the healthy stuff and the regular stuff and you can still buy some stuff like Costco in bulk.
There you go.
I love Wegmans.
Do we really need an Amazon grocery store? Jeff, you have enough money. Didn't he buy a $250 million yacht?
Well, if he's going to do it, just do the Amazon Go one. At least that's different.
He's got to pay.
Oh, he's trying to pay for the... Oh, stop it.
Well, he's got a lot of people to support. I mean, seriously, though, why wouldn't he get into everything? Will there be Amazon hospitals?
He might.
It seems like it.
They're looking into getting into the healthcare industry, so yes, we could see something like that.
Maybe he's just like, why not?
Is there Amazon cars?
That might be next.
Oh, you know it. He's got a TV show. It's fine.
Okay, thanks, Tracy.
I'm just jealous.
Thanks.
You still spend money with Amazon, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You use Amazon.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
In Gloucester County, New Jersey, a man is dead after a car accident on the 3000 block of South Black Horse Pike. It happened around 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon in Monroe Township. Police say two cars collided, trapping the victim inside one of the vehicles. Emergency crews worked through the rain and sleet in order to save the people in the other car. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Charges are pending for the driver who police say hit and killed a 7-year-old girl in Upper Darby last week. Community members came out for a vigil to remember 7-year-old Jennifer Portillo. She was hit by an SUV Friday while crossing Marshall Road. Police say the driver was backing into a parking spot when he hit the girl. Witnesses tell Fox 29 what happened.
The first thing I saw was toys in the street, so I knew it was a child that got hit. And then I saw a man pick up the child. I saw her head fall back. And I saw him place her on the sidewalk, and I saw him doing chest compressions over and over and over, trying to revive her.
Police said the driver stayed at the scene and later admitted he had been drinking. Police are awaiting further results of a blood test expected to be in later today. In Philadelphia, detectives are investigating a murder on the 2700 block of Emerald Street in the city's Kensington neighborhood. The victim is a man in his 30s. Officers say he was found shot several times in the face and body. So far, police have no arrests and no motive. Two sisters, ages 5 and 8, were lost in the California wilderness for almost 2 days before they were found safe on Sunday. A pair of volunteers found Leah and Caroline Carrico about 1.5 miles from their home in Benbow, which is about 200 miles northwest of Sacramento. The volunteers say they followed boot prints they believe belonged to the girls and called out their names. Leah and Caroline responded, and the volunteers located them. They say they became lost while following a deer trail and decided to stay where they were and drink fresh water from huckleberry leaves. The two were dehydrated and cold when they were found, but in good spirits. Humboldt County Sheriff William Hansall called the girls being located, quote, an absolute miracle. In other news, attorneys for actor Kevin Spacey would be back in a Massachusetts court Monday on criminal sex charges lodged against the actor. Spacey's attorneys will hear pretrial motions related to indecent assault and battery charges that claim the actor groped an 18-year-old man at a Nantucket, Massachusetts bar in 2016. The man is the son of a Boston TV news anchor. Spacey is not required to attend but must be available by phone. 59-year-old Academy Award winner and former House of Cards star pleaded not guilty in January to the charges. Last week, Spacey's lawyers sought phone and other records against the accuser, calling the charges patently false. Spacey was cut from the Netflix series House of Cards and the movie All the Money in the World after multiple accusations emerged against him starting in 2017. At least 23 people are dead and dozens more are injured after tornadoes ravaged several cities in the south. One eastern Alabama community was hit the hardest. Fox News correspondent Aisha Husni has details of the devastation.
Everything that's been built for 19 years.
Gone.
In a blink of an eye.
Gone in the blink of an eye. That's the tragic reality for many communities Sunday after tornadoes ripped through parts of the Deep South.
Pray for our city. We are in devastation right now.
Authorities say children are among the deceased in Lee County, Alabama, near the Georgia border after two twisters tore through the area. This cell phone video shows the catastrophic damage in Beauregard, the hardest hit area. Officials say the tornado traveled straight through the heart of town, leaving a half-a-mile wide path of damage. Severed trees lining the streets, high winds flattening homes. The National Weather Service saying the first twister hit with speeds between 136 and 165 miles per hour.
These families have lost everything they have.
Storms stretch from Alabama to the Florida Panhandle, across Georgia and into South Carolina. In Red Bank, South Carolina, powerful winds sending two massive trees crashing right into this mobile home.
Everything's going to be gone. But the kids are okay. Everybody's good. We got out.
Community members now coming together in this time of great loss. Officials say the death toll is still expected to rise as they resume the search at daybreak Monday. In New York, I'm Aisha Husni, Fox News.
Earlier this morning, officials in Alabama provided an update on the aftermath of the tornadoes. We'll take you there now for what they had to say.
We're getting a better picture of exactly how much damage we have and how big an area or a footprint that the storm came through. We believe we may have had more than one storm on the ground, a tornado on the ground. We're just not sure yet. The destruction area is at least a half a mile wide, at least a mile long, probably longer. I will say that we have not had an increase in the number of fatalities. At this point, that still remains at 23 victims of the storm yesterday. We have various units from all over the state and surrounding states coming in to assist us in our search efforts. That will again be doing search and rescue this morning. That's our primary focus to see if we can locate individuals who may still be in the area. We have several people that are still unaccounted for from family members. We've been talking with family members and residents in the area trying to get a count of how many individuals that we're looking for. But again, our efforts are concentrated on that. We have canine teams coming in from all over the state of Alabama and from the state of Georgia. We've had a tremendous response from agencies throughout the area. And again, at this point, our primary focus is assisting those who have lost their homes and certainly their loved ones, and concentrating on our search and rescue efforts in the affected area.
Sheriff, are most of the fatalities, most of the missing people in that County Road 38, 39 area?
Yes, the fatalities that we have discovered were primarily in the Alabama Highway 51, Lee Road 38, Lee Road 39 area.
How many people are still injured and in hospitals?
I don't have an exact number, but we do know some were transported to East Alabama Medical Center in Opelika, and we understand that some were also transported to Columbus, Georgia, to the regional medical centers in Columbus.
Can you talk about the ages of the victims and have they been identified?
We haven't got full identifications on all the victims yet. We're working with the Lee County Coroner's Office in that regard. My understanding is that the youngest victim was age 6, and of course adults ranging in age from 6 all the way up through adult age.
Can you speak to the severity of the injuries that we used today to help find some of these folks that are still missing?
We're of course going to have people on the ground in the actual search areas. We're also going to utilize some drone aircraft to assist in the aerial search, and we'll also have helicopters with various state agencies coming in to assist as well.
Sheriff, can you talk about the process of notifying missing or loved ones of their missing people? I know that's set up through the EMA for Lee County.
Yes. Providence Baptist Church here in the Beauregard community is a reunification point, and also where we're requesting people that are looking for loved ones that they have not had contact with to contact the people at Providence Baptist Church. We have staff there that are taking in that information and assisting with identifying individuals.
Sir, if we're talking about neighborhood subdivisions, what are we talking about for people who's not familiar with Alabama?
This is a rural area south of the Twin Cities of Auburn and Opelika, the Beauregard community. It is, again, a rural area, a lot of mobile homes, manufactured type housing. Those were affected the most dramatically from the effects of the storm. I would describe the damage that we have seen in the area as catastrophic. There are simply in some locations the complete residences are gone. The debris field stretches for hundreds and hundreds of yards. We're finding materials that from one location up to half a mile away from the original point of where they were located.
How many people are still missing?
I don't have an exact number, but that number is up into the double digits.
How many people do you think are without power? Obviously, it's fairly cold right now.
I don't have an exact number on without power, but that entire grid south of that area is without power. The Alabama Power, other power companies have come in and they're working to get power reestablished, of course, as we speak.
About how many people do you guys have on the ground this morning working, and what exactly are they doing this morning?
We're going to have well over 100 individuals out there, probably approaching 200. They're being organized into teams. They'll be doing search and rescue efforts in the affected area. We're starting with the area with the most damage and working our way outward from there.
A lot of people are going to want to volunteer to help. What should they do? People are going to want to bring supplies. They're going to want to come to the area. What would you say to them?
If they would coordinate with our local EMA, they're marshaling the efforts in regard to response from Red Cross, from Salvation Army, and from other assisting agencies, and certainly working with the people at Providence Baptist Church here in the Beauregard community.
What about people who are out of town and want to help? Do they donate to a certain organization that helps more, or send supplies that would help more than others?
Again, I would suggest they contact our local EMA. That would be the best way to coordinate that effort.
How many shelters do you have open? Where are they? How many people do you think are in there?
I'm not sure about a number on that, I'm sorry. But that is Providence Baptist Church is the primary location at this point.
Sheriff, there was a possibility, as this started, the fatality count rising.
Yes.
To 23 right now, do you think is there still the unfortunate chance it could rise more, or do you think it's...
Unfortunately, we anticipate the number of fatalities may rise as the day goes on.
Sheriff, as an emergency responder, how grip and how overwhelming is this effort to try and find survivors right now?
I'll say this, we have a lot of our first responders, as all of you are aware, are just completely committed to doing everything they can to locate anyone that may be out there still. This is a very trying time, I think goes without saying, and it's very difficult. I have not seen this type of level of destruction ever in my experience here in Lee County, and that covers a span back, I know, for at least 50 years. We have not had anything of this nature before, where it is overwhelming. But I can assure you that our folks and agencies are responding. We're extremely grateful for all of the people that have called and offered support, offered supplies and what have you. The response has been absolutely outstanding, and the community has come together. It's going to be a tough day. It's going to be a tough several days, I imagine. But the community's doing well, and we're going to do everything we can to help it, especially the folks that have lost loved ones and the folks that are without homes now because of the loss of their residences.
Are there any danger right now as far as gas lines, electric lines? How are you handling that?
We have addressed that issue for the most part. We've had several different entities with utilities coming in and shutting down propane tanks, electrical grids, and everything to ensure that power companies can come in and reestablish the power.
Are any of your roads still impassable?
I believe we've got all the roads open. We have secured some limited access, restricted access until we can get our searches teams on the ground and get that underway.
For people who are just now being able to get back into those roads that were closed overnight, maybe seeing some of the damage for the first time, I guess I know a lot of the roads that we came in still have a lot of debris and trees down around them. What's your message to people who are still trying to get back in this morning to those areas?
Well, we're asking folks that are not residents of the area to please not come down to the area. Let our first responders, let our crews, our fire personnel, our law enforcement responders, our search teams, let them do their job. We certainly don't want folks coming down and literally getting in the way. We appreciate the efforts. We appreciate the offers for support, but right now we've got a pretty good handle on it as far as the personnel that we're dispatching to the area to conduct the searches.
Can you go over one more time the areas that are closed and how long you think they'll be closed?
Primarily the area along Alabama State Highway 51 from the Lee Road 42 intersection all the way down close to Highway 80. That's the area affected, and of course that encompasses Lee Road 38 and 39 where a lot of the fatalities were located.
Sheriff, if you would you give a geographical location for those of us that are not from here? Is this east, north, west? What part of the county?
Sure. We're located approximately 5-6 miles south of the city of Opelika, directly due south. This is a Beauregard community. And also part of the area where we have damage is also known as, more locally, as the Watula community as well. But primarily the Beauregard community south of the city of Opelika.
Sheriff, I know you said the missing people is believed to be in the double digits. What would you say to those families that are still looking for a loved one right now?
Well, first off, I'd say that we're going to do everything we can to assist them and hopefully locate these individuals. There may be the case where some folks have left and not made contact back to their families. At least we hope that's the case, and that we're able to establish that those individuals are okay. But again, we're coordinating our efforts through our emergency management agency and, of course, Providence Church, which is located to the west of our location.
Sure. The difficulties of identifying those victims. I know that other coroners are coming to town to help with that process.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. We have other medical examiners coming in to assist with that identification process. In some cases, it is difficult, but we have identified, I believe, a majority of the folks. We're just trying to make sure that we have notifications of family and next of kin.
Sheriff, can you talk about how you feel as been a long-time sheriff of this county going into that area? This tornado hit on a Sunday afternoon. A lot of times families are together. And also wondering if we have, I won't say entire families, but families of people who are deceased because of these tornadoes. How did that make you feel just knowing this is happening in your county?
This hurts my heart. I love this county, and it's extremely upsetting to me to see these people hurting like this, and families that have lost loved ones. This is a very tight-knit community. These people are tough. They're resilient people, and it's knocked them down. But they'll be back. This is a wonderful county, wonderful people, And I think that's evidenced by all the support that's been offered and everyone coming together as they have. But I guess to answer your question, bottom line, it hurts my heart to see this.
Do we know if there's any other children besides the 6-year-old you had mentioned?
We do have some other children that were involved. I don't have ages, but unfortunately we did have more than one child involved as a fatality.
Do we know how many?
I do not know.
Do we know, is it falling debris or any cause of death for those children?
I would be speculating to say. I'm sure trauma obviously was involved. It was a extremely powerful storm. I know that assessments will come later in the day from the weather services, and those with FEMA give us estimations on exactly what type of circumstance we had when the storms came through.
Are people given the proper warnings?
I personally saw a lot of warnings coming from the media stations in the local area. I think they did a really good job, quite frankly, in getting the warning out. So I know a warning was put out, but in some cases, folks trying to get to cover, and some unfortunately just didn't make it.
Talking about warnings, there have been some people in the county that have said that they didn't hear sirens. Is that a case? Is that what you guys have come to understand, or were there sirens?
I can't speak to that. I know we do have sirens, a lot of sirens in the Lee County area, but I couldn't tell you, exactly what the circumstances were with those sirens. I do know that all of you in the media did a very good job of getting the warning out on your platforms, and we appreciate that very much.
We're starting to see pictures come out of the damage. I know today will be a big day of assessing, but can you describe personally what you've seen for people who aren't familiar with the area, what it looked like before and what it looks like now?
It looks almost as if someone took a giant knife and just scraped the ground. There are slabs where homes formerly stood. There are debris everywhere. Trees are snapped. Whole areas of forested areas are just the trees are just snapped and lying on the ground. When we came in yesterday, first responders, a lot of the roads were blocked by trees, power lines, power poles on the ground. Again, as mentioned previously, a lot of that's been taken care of, but we've still got just a lot of devastation out there.
Can you briefly recap where you guys stand as of now and what's going to be happening today?
Sure. Again, our primary focus now is search and rescue, and we'll have those teams assigned and working specific quadrants, again, starting in the areas of most damage, that's most obvious damage, and working their way out into the other areas as time goes by.
Do you have any timeline on how long it'll take to recover or clean this up, get back to any sense of normalcy?
Oh gosh, anything I say in regard to a time frame, I'd just be speculating. It's going to take some time. It won't be finished today, that's for sure.
I know you talked about K9 units.
Yes.
There's also been reports about heat drone detection.
Yes.
Is that true? And talk a little bit more about, have you guys started that, and what have you found from that?
Yes, we have utilized some drones that have the infrared capabilities that locate heat signatures, and we'll continue to use those as available.
Any first responders injured?
Not to my knowledge at this time. Yeah.
Sheriff, is there a time limit on when we'll be able to get in? I know with the checkpoint up there that we're kind of stopped at right now.
Yes, sir. Actually, we appreciate your cooperation, letting us get those search teams in there. And if there's a lot of activity that hampers the abilities of the K9 units in particular to locate individuals, so we want to get those folks in there and appreciate your cooperation with us and patience in getting that done. I can't give you an exact time or timeline when we can allow closer access. But again, if you'll bear with us, we want to make sure that we can maximize and optimize our search efforts in that area, utilizing our K9 assets and also the search teams on the ground.
And what time are you guys resuming everything this morning?
As I speak.
Okay.
As I speak, that's being done right now.
And then that'll go until sunset?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And we may continue again tomorrow. It's really hard to say today. It just depends on how much ground we can cover today. And of course, if as the day goes by, hopefully we'll be able to locate and identify individuals that have been reported missing and reunite them with the families and make sure that we've accounted for the residents in the area. That's what we're looking at right now.
And Sheriff, you did say that you expect the death toll to rise at this point?
I would not be surprised to see that death toll increase.
What time can we expect your next update?
Let's see. We'll try to keep y'all updated within the next few hours. Certainly around, and again, this is subject to change, so please don't hold me exactly to it. Hopefully in the next few hours, we'll get y'all some more information. As it comes in, if we have new developments, we'll let you know immediately.
Do you have an idea how many structures or homes were destroyed?
Hard to say. I know I personally saw dozens in the area of maximum impact. Yeah.
And Sheriff, I saw a tweet from a first responder. He said that his job yesterday was basically just getting bodies.
Well, as I've mentioned before, we did recover several victims from this area, and of course that's the toughest part.
Talk a little bit more about schools. When are they expected to reopen? Do you have any gauge of that?
We're working closely with Superintendent Mac McCoy here with Lee County School Superintendent, and I'm going to rely on him and his staff to answer that question. So, yeah.
The people who are at the hospital right now, how serious are those injuries?
I do know that they had some very serious injuries. My understanding is that some were admitted and then immediately taken to, after being treated, to the intensive care units. Again, I do not have a number of, but I know a lot of people went and were treated for a range of injuries from minor to very severe.
As far as those injuries are concerned, Sheriff, were there any need to transport in beyond the immediate area?
Yes, sir. My understanding is that we had, as mentioned previously, injured individuals taken to East Alabama Medical Center in Opelika and also to the medical centers in Columbus, Georgia as well.
Is there anything you need that you want to put out there?
At this point, I think we've got enough assets that we're utilizing initially. We may be calling for others. I've had calls from sheriffs all over the state, law enforcement, police departments offering assistance. We've told them, hang on, we may need you, be ready when we call. But right now, I think we've got what we need at this moment.
Sure. Do you have a spot for family members to show up to maybe get updates? If they can't get in, is there outside this location for
Yes, sir. Providence Baptist Church. Yeah, that's on Lee Road 166. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
Any message of hope going forward?
My hope is that we find a lot of those who've been reported missing and that they're safe and well. That would be my main hope.
I know Governor Kay Ivey tweeted out yesterday her.
Taking you now to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where First Lady Melania Trump has landed for I believe a Be Best event. That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching News Now. We'll be back tomorrow.